All right. So good morning or good evening, wherever you are. I'm Annette Tarpley. I'm the host. I am the founder of the Passion of Poetry. And we're having session one today. So this is session one. We have a few people here. So welcome from wherever you are. And so happy to have you here. So what we'll do is we will go in the order that people signed on to the meeting. And what I need for everyone to do now, please, is to mute your mics. If you don't mute your mics and the other person is speaking, the camera keeps going over to you when sounds are made. So we just need to make sure everyone's muted. And it looks like it is. All right, very good. So today we have something different going on, and that is I had offered that perhaps we try something different and that we pair up some people for some poetry reading, and you can read each other's. So hopefully we'll have time to do 3 poems, including the exchange that we did. Not everyone signed up for it, but those of you who signed up for it will be doing that as well. So beautiful Bogdana, always here with a beautiful smile, will be first to recite. So this is how it will go. We're going to make rounds. When round 1, you need to please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, whatever information you want to divulge. And then go ahead after that and do your first recitation. And then we will go from there. I'm admitting Ekta. So,
Hi.
good morning. Good morning, Ekta. Um, Ekta is now in the United States. She just moved here. Welcome to the United States, dear Ekta. She's living in South Carolina. So, Ekta, I just kind of went through the rules. And so, again, we're going to do rounds. We're going to start in the order that you signed on. And then, please, the first round, give some information about yourself, whatever you want us to know about you. So, Bogdana, if you would be first to go ahead and introduce yourself and to recite,
Thank,
go ahead and um, yeah, you've already unmuted yourself. So take it away,
you.
Bogdana. Thank you.
Thank you. About the that partnership about poetry and reciting, I don't have my partner Lucky, so I'll see what I can do. I have his poem, but he's not here. I don't know. You'll
We will.
decide what to do. Yeah,
I think we'll save the sharing of the poem, the one that were paired to
yeah.
very.
You'll decide until the third round. You'll decide what I can do.
We'll do it the third.
um,
Yeah.
um. For those who do not know me, I'm Bogdana. I'm from Romania. I am very sociable person and I love to write and to recite and to do photos and all kind of stuff. Um, and I'm very happy to have you here. Most of you, I know you. You know me, like Jill, Dennis, Elizabeth, Mr. Gul. So there are a lot of people who already know me, and I'm very happy that you're here with me and Annette, of course, because without her we can be here. So we thank her a lot. She's our guide. Every monthly week we can do it, and it's very nice. So I chose some poems of mine. My first poem for now. They're not long; they're very short, but I hope that you will love them. My first one is called Crusade. I feel I am living a crusade, fighting demons, monsters, defending my truth and my shelter, my heart shelter. The sword is small but sharp and cuts deeply the venom of the world. A crusade of sun and shadow, a crusade of a deep breath. Thanks, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you, Bogdana. That was beautiful. You are on a crusade. I think you're on a crusade for happiness. You always spread love and happiness. So thank you so much, Bogdana.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So comments, please feel free to comment in the comment section. After this is over, I will get the transcripts and send that to you all. So next up for recitation, we have Doug Stuber. Good morning, dear Doug.
I'm trying to unmute. Okay, there we go. Good morning.
Good
Uh,
morning.
I am one of the editors of a anthology called Poems from the Heron Clan. I've noted that in the little chat. And this is a poem from 1994 or so, maybe 96. It's called Ode to Horace Mann. Horace Mann founded Antioch College and the United States public school system as a congressman. Ode to Horace Mann, and this epigrams from him. Be ashamed to die until you've won some victory for humanity. Be aware that energy is life. Save some for your kids. Be afraid that our minds are bent by news, not books. Be awed by the healing power of the simple purple coneflower. Be awake before the bombs drop, before the money rules. Be agile. Live in a town that walks in bikes to work and play. Be amused by ants and birds, goats and potato fields, lilacs and sycamores. Be angry only long enough to solve the problem, then move on. Be ashamed to die until you've won some victory for humanity.
Thank you. Very strong poem there, Doug. Great message. Um, so you have somebody in the background.
As people flow through.
That's
My
people say,
son.
oh, that's your son. Doug's son, do you mind if I tell them how talented your son is?
Okay. Embarrassing.
Well, no, it's not embarrassing.
Okay.
Um, he's a very talented musician. That's all I'll say. So, all right, thank you. And Doug is also a musician. Next, we are going to go to dear Elizabeth in Nigeria. Good morning, good morning, good evening to you, Elizabeth. And if you would please unmute yourself.
Hello, good afternoon from Nigeria. I'm really glad to be here this afternoon. I am Elizabeth Ogunmodede. I'm a Nigerian teen author of 3 books, and I'm a poet. My third book got published last month. It's titled Letter to the Top, and it's in 2 versions. The community version, which is prose with poetry, and the educational version, which is mainly prose. You can order your copy from Amazon today. Well, I'll be reading some poems from my new book. The first one is titled Love. The closeness and love felt in the Bliss home was not one being shared in other families. Time dedication from parents some have never enjoyed. Gifts, chocolates, box, not all that matters. Books, tete-a-tete with parents would mean so much more to that kid who seemed so withdrawn. Give some love to that kid. Know them so well. It all goes beyond their looks, further than basic necessities. Shower them with love, love that will never die, love from a parent to their child that comes from the bottom of the heart. That's never jealous. That's true love. And see what will become of that child, that potential filled child who acts like they are from a different world. Why make ready the path of a child's failure when the key to their success lies in your hands? Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. That was wonderful. And look what I got.
Wow, that's
Got your book.
beautiful.
So this
Thank
is
you.
Elizabeth's latest book. So
Thank you. That's
wonderful, Elizabeth. It's beautiful. Okay, so next up we have Musumi. You're up next,
Yes,
dear.
ma'am. Moshmin.
Mushumi.
Uh,
I'm going
Good day,
to
ma'am.
put that pronunciation down here so I remember.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Feeling honored to be here, ma'am, and special thanks to you for including me in your precious group. I'm a school teacher from West Bengal, India, and I'm a little bit engaged in literary works also. In 2, 3 anthology books I have written. So from there, I'm reading one of my composition, ma'am, Mona Lisa. I need a canvas to portray my feelings, echoes of my laughter, tearful moments, and joyful singings. I want to paint every aspect of life, how I thought to do in my own way, with the definite strokes of ups and downs, fine detailing of my weakness and sway. With the colors of emotions expressed there beautifully, some words which I couldn't utter of love, desire, and apology. Engraved as in the lips of Mona Lisa, timeless, elegant, and all alone, I want to be immortal on the canvas. So take me, O eternal, and adorn your home. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. It's so good to see you here. Next up, we have beautiful Gita. If you would like to unmute yourself, dear, and go ahead and do your recitation, please. Introduce yourself, of course.
Thank you so much, dear Annette. You have been so loving always. Um, Good morning, dear all. I'm from South Carolina. Myself is Gita, and good evening to the other part of the world, India, Pakistan, and other countries. Hi, Mousumi. And it's a pleasure to be here with all of you. And myself, I'm an assistant professor in biology here by profession, and poetry is definitely a passion of mine. And it's been long years from my student career. I was writing poetry, but since 2019, I just started writing in the Facebook. I love to interact with nature, with people, and all these are the sources of emotion and poetry for me. And I love to serve, and that's an integral part of me. So being said that about me, I just would like to recite one of my composition. Title is Full Stop. Why not a little stop? Quarter stop, half stop, or any other kind of partial stops, where there would be a chance of continuance. Why? It's a disappointing full stop, so abrupt. I do stop in many ways, on many things, for many times, on emotions, sentiments, and feelings. Whenever they become overwhelming, whenever they get provoked by the illusionary things, and at all, if at all, I try and to jump, and they, excuse me, and if at all they try to jump over and beyond my drawn boundaries line, I warn my mind, and to them I discipline. But I never punish them so harshly with a full stop anytime. Full stop should be only once in lifetime, when there is an unfortunate or sudden shutdown or a natural completion, and with a royal departure like wearing the crown. That should be a full stop all about. I deny full stop now and then, with people, with relations, with the world, and with the own self-propagation. I deny full stops. Before my absolute stopping in serving, in loving, in hugging, and in giving, and I deny full stops in humbleness and also in daring, in accepting my mistakes and in realizing, in learning, in accepting people unconditionally as a genuine and genuinely being a loving being. I deny full stops in communicating with the nature, with ether, and with the cosmic things, in meditating, in praying, in caring, and also in offering. I deny full stops in continuing A, a careless, sorry, I deny full stops in continuing a ceaseless living. Living is a beautiful continuation of the sentences of instances, moments, mistakes, amendments, and judgments, falling and sharing, ups and downs, again and again. A pause, a comma may be acceptable, but full stop I would accept only once, last time, if possible. Thank you so much for hearing me.
Beautiful as always, Gita. Thank you so much. Very
You're
lovely.
welcome, dear.
Very lovely.
Thank you, dear.
So next we are going to go to Mousumi. You are up next. Oh, I'm sorry. You already read. I'm sorry. I'm losing my spot here. So it's actually Gul. You are up next. You are up next, sir. If you would please unmute yourself and introduce yourself and recite for us. Gul.
Good
Thank
afternoon from my side and good evening there. So it's my pleasure to meet all of you once again. All of you are there. Gita is there live. So it was in fact one of my great wish to watch her live. Elizabeth is there. Mousumi is there. I'm Gul. I'm 58 from Pakistan, and being an English teacher, I have started writing English poetry since 1984 actually. Apart from that, I do write in Urdu, I do write in Pashto, but I love English poetry, and my more than 300 poems I have written. But so far, only one of my book was published in 2017, and another is going to publish this year, inshallah. I love to be here once again, and let me recite my first poem for today. It is, in fact, written this morning. This morning, and I shared also. Sorry. No age limits for the true love. Am I audible to all of you? No age limit for the true love. She says times and again. She says times and again a phrase so simple and plain. Gul, I love you. I wonder how you. Do you know I'm 58? Do you know I'm 58? Isn't it a bit late? My hairs are grey. My hairs are grey. Do you think it's okay? My cheeks are not pink. My cheeks are not pink. Round parts are sink. My nose isn't straight. My nose isn't straight. Lips no more chocolate. When she comes or passes, when she comes or passes, while I'm not wearing glasses, still her fragrance and scent, still her fragrance and scent do repair past dent, and her each single touch, and her each single touch is dynamic so much. I feel young again. I feel young again and forget body pain. I wish for hugs long. I wish for hugs long. She hugs me, comes along. I whisper again. I whisper again, same words, simple and plain. Isn't it a bit late? I'm now 58. Then she gives a big smile. Then she gives a big smile, twist her thin waist fragile. Gul, for love there is no age. Gul, for love there is no age. It's a huge golden page of the lucky men's book. Of the lucky men's book of the pretty girl's looks. If we happen to this joy, if we happen to this joy, hugs again. Let's enjoy. That's all.
Thank you so much. Fresh off the press. You just wrote it this morning, so or today rather. Thank you very much for sharing that. It's beautiful. Next up, we have my dear friend Jill Sharon Kimmelman. If you would please unmute yourself, dear.
Good day, everyone. And Gita, I had no idea you lived in the US. We're coming to Charleston next year, so I hope to meet you then. Um, I have a poem that's quite light and fun. And since most of you in my part of the world are probably sipping your second mug of coffee by now, this one is just a light way to start our morning, and it's all about coffee. If you like it, but you're wondering if you can make it, guess what? I do have, in fact, personal notes and suggestions. If you're comfortable in the kitchen, then you're going to know exactly how to create this celestial coffee. So, as a former chef and a full-time poet, I'm honored to share Morning Joe with all of you. Morning Joe. When it comes to our morning cup of joe, it seems that everyone has an opinion. No two ever agree. Even a few self-proclaimed purists have been known to eagerly request second mugs of my celebrated, cobbled together, bordering on celestial coffee creations. Perhaps it is the absence of foam in its place, and impossible to resist infused whipped cream, a tower of infinite taste possibilities. Possibly it is freshly grated nutmeg with cinnamon that promises and delivers an accomplishment both sweet and mellow. That kind of mellow happens only when fine Madagascar vanilla is drizzled slowly over warm brown sugar. Such unexpected subtlety is the key to achieving and delivering those first to last decadent swallows. For every empty, outstretched cup, I am your friend who fills them all up. It is always on the menu, never ever pushed aside to promote a rising star, heavily touted decaf instead flavor of the month. My coffee creations come in comfortable mugs with little fanfare and a come on in and rest a while. Welcome, smile. Thank you. And I do have a testimonial if Annette wants to share because she's tasted it. Thank you all.
Yeah, she's a wonderful, marvelous chef. So she's cooked me dinner and desserts and all that. I don't remember the coffee, but I remember the food. So
You'll
it
have
was
to come
wonderful.
back.
I'll have to
And
come back.
I would like to show everyone Elizabeth's book. I'm incredibly proud of Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Can everyone see it?
That's beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you, Jill.
Oh, you're welcome, my love. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jill. Okay, next we have Dennis Brown. Sir Dennis Brown, if you would please unmute.
Hey everyone. So I reside in Michigan in the US. You can hear me, right? Okay, good. I have taught for 21 years. I have a degree in English language and lit, a master's in educational leadership. I am an administrator on a passion of poetry, as most of you know, with Bogdana Miss Annette, Miss Gita, Miss Etka. So I enjoy that. Very busy right now. I have the summer off, obviously, being a teacher in the U.S., but my mother is kind of ill, so it's taken up, a lot of my time. So, I might not be on as much, but anyways, everything's, moving along. So I would like to read my first poem is going to be, it's actually one of the more recent poems that I wrote. It's called The Truth. I'm searching for what I have not lost and blind to what my eyes do see. I've climbed a hill to search for truth when the truth was right there next to me. I've waged a war inside my mind and fought the battle to be strong. Yet I've struggled with the strength to be when the truth was waiting all along. I've screamed in silence to hear its echo, to listen for and answer back. And I've climbed the rope to reach its top, yet was left with nothing but its slack. I've had some moments of clarity till the clouds rolled in to fill all doubt. Still I struggled to somehow look beyond, but just couldn't see the full way out. Yet just like the rain clouds that pass to give way to more clear skies, the truth that was once so very hidden was there right before my very eyes. Now I finally climbed up to its top, and I found my peace in certainty, for I've seen the moment of my sight as the truth has finally helped me see. Thanks.
Dennis, beautiful as always. Thank you very much for sharing that. It's wonderful. Up next, we have Vaishali. Please correct me in the pronunciation.
I'm not sure I understand.
Yes, thank you so much, dear Annette. My name is Vaishali. We pronounce it as such, Vaishali Andraskar. Yes, thank you so much. It's actually a pleasure, and I'm honored that I am actually going to present my poem and share my poem in this forum. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm a teacher, and I'm located in India. I'm teaching in a school at Pune, India. And today the poem that I'm going to share, it's titled as Glory. So I'll start with the poem recitation. In the light breeze at dawn, swayed the flower of gentle beauty. It was so charismatic and velvety that I wanted to touch it and feel its smooth pain. It was so precious and delicate that I did not want to touch it, lest its petals may wane. But I couldn't ignore it. It was just so bright and lively. Wanting to show it to the world, with my phone, I tried to click its picture. But whichever angle I tried, it was difficult for me to take a perfect capture. I realized that a mere picture couldn't arrest its true beauty. The fragrant blossom, firmly crowned on its prickly stems, evading the predators, it was a wonder to those who could see its charm and not its creed and color. I decided the joy was in just letting it be, not plucking it, not clicking it, just letting it bask in its elegance and glory. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you
And
so
thank
much.
you for sharing that with us. Next we have dear Etka, a United States resident now. You'll have to, when you introduce yourself, you'll have to say how you like the United States. I'd like to hear that. So,
Hello everyone. Thank you so much, Annette. Um, it is always wonderful to be in Pop Open Mic. Before introducing myself, I will definitely would like to talk about how I'm feeling here in US. It has been 1 month I am here and now almost settled. So, you know, I'm just loving it here. People here, they love to interact, and I am uh, actually not. It's not like a uh, uh, very new place where everything is distant. I'm just feeling that I was already connected to this place. Maybe due to these poetry platforms and everything, and we come to know about each other cultures and everything, and no doubt where I live in South Carolina, here weather is very nice and beauty all around. So I'm just really loving it here and looking forward to explore many new things. Uh, so now I will introduce myself. My name is Ekta, and I have started my writing journey since I was a child. But previously, I used to write, in diaries and everything. Then in 2018 or 19, I just joined. Pop was the first group which I joined, and since then it has been a beautiful journey. And I wrote two ebooks in 2020. It's You and Cardinal Emotions, and my few of my projects are currently ongoing, so looking forward to them. I love to write about poems related to nature, emotions. So today I'll be reading one of the poem of Dearest Jill, which will be after this poem. And the first poem which I'm going to read is related to nature. So the title of the poem is Be a Human. Let us be a human. Work in one direction and think as one. Mother Earth is full of love and affection. It completes us, accepting all our imperfections. Water, soil, air, trees, flowers, mountains, sea enrich our lives, permeates peace and infuse glee. Mother Earth, we are thankful to you. Mother Earth, we are thankful to you for the beauty, for the peace, for the loving embrace, for the resources, for revitalizing. When we deviate from the right direction and become mean, you make us realize with the adverse effects indicate wrong that move has been. Increasing population pollution have harmful repercussions. We have to feel our responsibility and be a human. Thank you.
thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. That was beautiful. And welcome to the United States, Eka. So glad that you're here. One of these days we'll have to get together, and Gita as well. So
Right.
I'm having a retreat, but you all are welcome to come. It is next month. But I think I've sent you information or asked you all. Dennis will let me know later. So next up we have Perez, who has joined us. Thank you, sir, for joining us. And if you would unmute yourself, please, and tell us a little bit about you, and then go ahead and recite your first poem. You're still muted. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and my greeting to all of you. Good morning, good evening, and it is a golden opportunity that you have invited me. So when my turn will come, I'll read out my poem and share my poem with all of you. Thank you, ma'am.
Your time has come.
Go ahead and this is your time to recite, Perez. So what I want you to do, of
Okay.
course, introduce yourself and then go
Mhm.
ahead and recite your first poem of yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. uh, now, now I would like to, I think there is no need of introduction because all of us are familiar on Facebook. We know to each other. So right now I'm going to recite my poem. So, Annette, I want your permission to recite, first of all, your poem, Dance with Me. If I am allowed, I would like to first read out your poem, The Dance with Me. Okay, I suppose that I am allowed to read out my poem. So first of all, I have to read out my three poems. But before that, I would like to
No,
recite the
hold on,
poem.
hold
uh,
on.
compo-
Okay, just a moment. You weren't here for instructions, and I apologize that I didn't give them to you. But we're only doing one poem. This is round one. So you will select one of your own poems and read it now. And then we'll start round two and we'll go again and read poems. So if you would go ahead and read your first poem, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
okay, thank you. So the title of my poem is The Burning Boat. The Burning Boat. I had burnt my boat when I crossed the sea. I was then alone. Only my shadow witnessed it. Now the stink of burning, only I can smell. The burnt mark is visible. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Hmm. The burnt mark is visible to those who have sparks in their eyes. I am carrying the sea and the burnt boat within me. My boat was burning there on the sands of seashore. Since then, with the every tide, sea attempts to put out the fire and wash off my burnt boat. Even for the high tide, it's not possible to do so. My heart is burning in separation of my beloved. Its pangs are too intensive. My blanket cannot properly cover my body to extinguish the fire. The sea is nothing but my vast body. My toes are touching the seabed. My boat is my heart within, the sun on the sky, smokes come out all over in my mind. My hair's turned into ashes gray by the heart of my burning, by the heat of my burning heart. It seems my heart can't meet, can't make reunion with my beloved till the sea of my body gets dried out. Oh my Lord, how long I will have to wait to show you my burning heart, alas. Thank you, Dr. Perwaiz Shaharyar, New Delhi, India.
Thank you very much. That was beautiful. Appreciate it very much. So I'm going to go ahead and recite mine. This will be the end of round one, and then we'll make round two. So let me see if I can put this somewhere I can see it. This is called The Last Glimpse of Day. She sits alone on a porch swing, savoring the moments the daylight brings. A breathtaking spring day. It has been in the moors of a land within a fertile glen. Walking the pasture early morning stride, thrilled to see a mare, a colt by her side. White horse galloping, black mane tossing in the wind, neighing as she traveled, calling her newborn kin. Wild daffodils, tulips, lupins, mixed with grass, forgetting her age, she felt like a wee young lass. Birds swooping down, chasing each other in flight. Butterflies dancing, 'twas a glorious sight. The sun now setting, to home she made her way. The moon now rising, it was the last glimpse of day. So that is my poem, and thank you all very much. And so, very happy that you're all here, and we finished round one, woohoo. So we're gonna go on to round two. And there's been times where I've asked people questions, but we won't do that. Right, Gita? Gita's always like, what question are you going to give me? Before we've done a little question thing, but we won't do that today. So we're going to start with the lovely Bogdana in Romania. If you would please unmute yourself there.
Thanks, Annette. I have another short one. I told you I don't give you long poems, not to bother you, not to, I don't know, bore you, not to give you headaches. But I hope still you'll receive the message, because even if it's short, it has a message. So the second one is called What? What is a human being? A piece of body, a piece of mind, a piece of soul, a piece of sky, a piece of art, pieces of a game puzzled by God. So thanks. Hope you liked it.
Dear Bogdana, I don't think I'd ever recognize you if you didn't smile. I probably wouldn't know it was you. Love your smile. We all do. Thank you very much. So next we're going to go back to Doug Stuber. Please unmute yourself, sir.
I will, and this one relates to Ekta's poem as well as Bogdana's in a way. It's called To Be Human. To be human is to fall in love over and over, to never give up on any of them, to cry for the inhumanity and try to overcome all that surrounds us by creating a closeness with those in proximity, both geographical and philosophical. It is to carry those loves in our heart, flooding our minds no matter how gone they are, and to put others' needs first, understand their flaws, work on our own so we can be better healers. It is to take it all in and follow our dreams no matter how preposterous. to pull apart another brown paper bag and to write it all out, no matter how choppy. So take my hand and make it all better before I repeat the painful parts until I can no longer act. The struggle past obstructions and obligations, self-imposed and expected. To wallow in joy, build strength, and change what we can for the better. To give.
Thank you very much. That was great. And I like that you correlated it with other poetry being presented as well. Thank you, Doug.
Sure.
So next we have Sweet Elizabeth. If you would unmute yourself, dear.
Thank you so much. Please permit me to say this before I start. I would like to plead with everyone who has bought copies of Ladder to the Top to please leave a feedback of their experience reading the book on Amazon, because it's going to be a great way of proclaiming my creativity to the world and adding to my profile. Okay, so back to the poem. It's titled This World. The world is filled to the brim with creatures. Some you've seen, some you've not, some you will never behold, till your eyes close in total submission to the Reaper. The world is like a game that you may never understand, but he who created you knows fully well the essence of this game. The world is so big, but someday you shall find that partner. A friend shall be the name. He stands to bring you from grass to grace, or from grace to grass. The world is as lovely as it is terrible. The friends you seek might be your greatest foes. Those you see to be your foes might be your truest friends. The world is full of friends, those that might stand by you, through thick and thin, those that would desert you when all hopes seem to be lost. The world is so big, filled with different creatures, with different personalities. But wise, beloved, choose with great care. That's also an excerpt from my debut novella, Ladder to the Top. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you,
Thank you
dear
so much.
Elizabeth. That was beautiful. Thanks for sharing. And
Thank
Elizabeth is our youngest member, still a teen, and so accomplished at a young age. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
So next we have Mousumi. If you
Yes,
want
ma'am.
to, yes, thank
Ma'am.
you, dear.
Ma'am, actually, one thing, let me tell you that I couldn't write the beautiful remarks I'm getting. I couldn't tell you thanks and all that. So I've written down the name. Let me tell them 1 minute, ma'am. Dennis sir, Gul sir, Doc sir, Perwaiz sir, Gita ma'am, Jill ma'am, Annette ma'am, Ekta ma'am, Vaishali ma'am, Sister Elizabeth, and Bogdana ma'am. Thank you all for your beautiful composition and rendition and praising me also. Thank you very much. I'm reading my second poem. Love letter. I really intended to pen a letter to you, but alas, I pondered upon what to write. How could I ever make you understand how much I love you? As pages after pages got written and torn up, I wonder how you know all my feelings I never expressed. I felt the power of your love. Drawn is the last page of my letter pad. My dear adorns the top. At last, written, yours and only yours. Sending it to say how much I love you, as bored eyes, silent lips, and blank paper convey love and only love. Thank you.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Excuse me. Everyone's poetry is so beautiful and lovely. Thank you again. And we are going to go on to dear Gita. You are next, dear.
Thank you so much, dear Annette, for this opportunity to recite with all of you. My second composition is Constant. Planck's constant, gravitational constant, electric constant, dimensionless physical constants, time constant, material constant, Avogadro's constant, Boltzmann's constant, universal constant, this constant, that constant. However, in ever-changing universe, where time is changing, geometry of geography is changing, borders, territories, Even tectonic plates are changing. Environment is changing. Weather is changing. Climate is changing. Cosmos too is changing. Positions of planets and galaxies are also changing. Theories are changing. Laws are changing. Life is changing. Lifestyle is changing. People are changing and their minds are also changing. With age, body is changing. In continuously changing universe, everything is variable except the constant change. In the ever-changing universe, if there is any absolute constant, the change is that only constant. Thank you, Gerald.
Thank you. Beautiful as always, Gita. Thank you for sharing. All right. Next we go to Gul. If you want to unmute yourself, please, sir, and do your second recitation, please.
Yeah, of course. I'll thank you once again. My second poem is a shortest one that was also written recently, maybe 3-4 days ago. How I wish to be that cup of coffee. How I wish to be that cup of coffee that your sweet looks are focused on. Get embraced by your delicate fingers. Get embraced by your delicate fingers, so close to your candid lips. Soon you are going to take sips. Soon you are going to take sips. Touching your lips is touching your soul. Then every sips visits your angelic frame. Then every sips visits your angelic frame. What a sweet journey, they can't give any name. While finishing your coffee, don't throw the cup to the bin. Throwing something that touches your honey lips is a big sin. That's all.
Thank you very much. That was very nice. Thank you for sharing that with us. So next up we have dear Jill. If you would unmute yourself, please.
Some of you know that my stepfather, his name was Joe, passed away on July the 8th. I had known him for 41 years. And though he never tried to replace my dad, he couldn't. There was, in fact, a very special relationship that as adults, we all, my sister, myself, and my brother, we all came to care deeply for him. My last visits with him were 2 weeks ago today. This poem is called Healing Magic, a path through our collective grief. In memory of Joe Rudnick, 1925 to 2022. Gifts of lanterns light our way. Opalescent pearls, magic beads, prayers in foreign tongue, all illuminate our pale dawns. Our collective grief, hollow, black, without floor or perch, frightens us a little less upon reflection and contemplation. We are but few of many travelers gazing upon vistas of tranquility, seizing memories, hurling them to angels above, perhaps even towards an elusive love. We stumble on unfamiliar roads, choosing to walk a little slower, set our own pace, leaving our footprints upon different paths. A stranger's steady gaze captivates, like heirloom roses and weeping willows. We bend to show fellow travelers the grace of our limbs, recognition and admiration in our eyes. This has the makings of healing magic. Thank you.
Thank you, Jill, for sharing that. Wonderful job. And of course, we are with you as far as our thoughts and prayers for your loss.
I would like to just say thank you because I did receive a great many private messages, prayers in at least 24 languages. I'm so honored and humbled to have myself, Tim, and our entire family to have been embraced long before this. But to know that all over the world, people were praying with us, and people have been so kind, so gracious, so wonderful. I thank you all.
Thank you, Jill. Very good. Dennis, you are not up next, sir. You would unmute yourself.
Yes, that was beautiful and heartfelt, Jill. And so thoughts and prayers are with you, my friend. So always. This next poem I'm going to read is sort of similar. And Miss Bogdana actually recited this for me and did a wonderful job. So I'd like to read it. It's called Until Our Final Hour. Each day is such a precious gift that is never promised tomorrow. And our life may be our very own, but our time with it is borrowed. Every moment that we breathe is a moment that we make. So we must live each day the best we can, as each chance is there to take. All of us are just a pawn in this game of life and living, and we should make each minute count for the seconds that we are given. Every one of us has a chance to view the beauty within our being and find the love and inner peace through the lens from which we're seeing. Until the day when our time runs out and we surrender to a higher power, we should live the life of truth and meaning, for we never know our final hour. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, Dennis. As always, your poetry is always so heartfelt. Thank you for sharing.
Nice.
Next, we go to Vaishali. You are up next. If you want to unmute yourself, dear.
Yes, thank you so much. My next poem is it's about rationality and irrationality. The title is Rational or Irrational. I'll just start with it. A student said to me after my math class, pi is irrational, pi is important. Maybe being irrational is not that bad after all. I just smiled, but was surprised by the statement and the way this concept applies to our real world, where we encounter irrationality, though the percentage is small. Most of the time, we humans are rational with the ability to think, act, and adapt to our surroundings. But as you would agree, irrationality does exist. Though there is no clear demarcation as such, with our obsessions, phobias, and prejudices, at times we all have irrational thoughts and conflicts. Nevertheless, we need a balance of both, and that's what makes us human, probably. Maybe being irrational is not that bad after all. Could be. Thank you.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Very insightful. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you so much.
Next, we have Edka. If you want to please unmute yourself.
Is it me? Uh, Thank you so much. It's really wonderful to listen to the heart-stirring poems by all of you. And next, I would like to recite a verse of Dearest Jill. So, the title of the poem is Blue. The name is already a very it is a simple one word poem title, but it carries a deep meaning. uh, Jill has written a book, You Are the Poem, and it is having a beautiful cover with the pink, white, blue flowers. So next, I would like to recite one of her composition, and it is an honor to recite one of her beautiful verse. So I'm going to recite one of her verse. The title of the poem is Blue. For a long time, she was yours, a secret locked up tight, known only to your head, your heart. One blue sky day, I heard her name, fast like rain. My questions came. Who is she, this charmer, with red hair and eyes of blue, the blue of cornflowers and delphiniums, blooms that scent summer gardens, the Mediterranean Sea, cloudless, frigid winter mornings, star scattered midnight skies. Perhaps she is a prima ballerina, trailing brilliance and peony pink ribbons in her wake, or a painter to be found at her canvas on early mornings, cinnamon scented coffee cooling within reach. You have given her shelter, the honor of your name, a blue ribbon for a long ago place faded now, gently frayed. I ask myself the questions I should be asking you, reaching deep for answers in bottomless dry wells. I would give my heart full, newly bold, for recognition and its privileges things only she can claim. She dwells in sunlight. I have found a place within the shadows where I await you, a black rogue on a white horse, somebody else's Prince Charming at the end of my little girl fairy tale. So it was a poem uh, by Jill Sherman Kimmelman from one of her books, You Are the Poem. Jill, I really loved your poem. You have expressed you have used the word blue and expressed about the questions and your inquisitiveness, in a unique way. Loved your poem, and it's an honor to present or narrate your poem in front of the wonderful ones. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Edka, for doing that. So this is going to be, we're going to have a couple more poems, and this will be the end of round 2. So the rest of you that need to present in round 3 will be presenting the common poems in round 3 that we've done the exchanges with. So Edka, make sure you do your own poem in round 3. So thank you for sharing. It was a beautiful, beautiful recitation of Jill's poem. And next up, we have Perez. If you want to unmute yourself, sir. Dr. Perez, go ahead and unmute yourself and please do your recitation. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the next opportunity given to me for sharing my poem. Annette, I would like to read out your poem if you will allow me. Dance? No. Okay. Okay. No,
Do
it's
it
no.
the last round.
So,
That's fine. Thank
okay. So I'm going to share my poem, which is very close to my heart. And the title of my poem is Oh My Beloved. Oh my beloved, this is not like that. I do not love you anymore, albeit I do not express it, that how much to you I adore. I love you more, make it sure you are my heart and soul. This is the other thing, I do not exhibit it in the word of having letter 4. Even if all the charm have lost, from the half open angle of your rose like curly lips, I do not stare at them all the times with the greedy eyes and lusty lips. I do not try to wake up you from sweet dreaming by stirring the Taj Mahal like your bosoms, to take you out for the moon bath in the light of full strawberry moon, like those of our initial days. It is not like that. I do not love you anymore. I do not have a sense of the rising waves, those of the thirst in the sea of your eyes. But it is true, I don't want always to sail my boat. My winning is hidden in your wins. Indeed, in the game of chess, oh, my heart is stiller. I do not convert my every wins into defeat. Please do not see my deviations as my indifferent attitude towards you. In our vast journey of love, oh my co-traveler, you are my soulmate. I cannot live without you. The distance is a sojourn, since bread and butter have also to earn. Stomach sometimes become stomach sometimes becomes more powerful than our heart and soul. It makes us forget all aims and goal. This is the reason that I do not want to make wet your dear like beautiful eyes. Oh my beloved, this is the last stanza. Oh my beloved, this is not like that. I do not love you anymore, albeit I do not express it, that how much I that how much to you I adore. Thank you. Thank you so much to listening to me.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Um, so I'm going to do one again in honor of Jill and her recent loss. This is called On Angel Wings. When my life on this earth is over, when my last breath is done, I will fly away on angel wings, my sights set on the rising sun. Over the mountains I will fly, passing the eagle along the way. I will feel no more pain and sorrow, and this is the last first of my eternal days. High above the vastest ocean, beyond the deepest blue sea, light and free spirit in my soul, elated at last, reveling in ecstasy. No more tears shall I then shed, no more sad rivers will I cry. If a drop does befall my face, a tear of happiness will leave my eye. Remember me as one who is loved to the deepest core of my heart, an everlasting memory retained the moment we last did depart. This life was but a short journey, sometimes lonely I did roam. Now that I have my angel wings, I'm now flying off to home. So thank you everyone for your contributions to round 2. We're going to start our final round, which is round 3. And so this is the round that please share your exchange poems, that those that were involved in the exchange. Those of you who are not, share your own. And so we're going to start with Bogdana. Actually, you were supposed to have someone, and that was Lucky, who's not here. If you want to, you know what? You do your thing. So don't read his poem. He's not here.
Okay.
You go ahead and read whatever you would like to read.
Sorry, I wanted, but he's not present, so I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna recite one of my own. This one is a little sadder. It's called Why Sun. Why sun? When there are clouds in my heart. Why sun? When you feel uncomfortable like a loser who lost all. Why sun if all I hear is I don't care, being treated like a garbage, not like a human? Why sun if the ground is still cold and people are like ice from the fridge?
Thank you, Bogdana. That was beautiful, as always. And as are you, inside and out. So next we have, I wouldn't say the beautiful Doug Stuber. We'll say the handsome Doug Stuber.
Oh, come on.
Oh, okay. Well, I could not say that. I could say the distinguished Doug.
No.
The humble.
Here's the good part. Here's the really good part. I get to read one by Elizabeth, and I'm going to mess this up. Ogunmodede. And it's also part of her book, which means her book must be so lyrical if she can cut poems out, and then the whole book's going to be this lyrical. I can't wait. It's stunning. This is called The Inevitable by Elizabeth O. Death could be a figure, one in an armor suit or in a black cloak, faceless perhaps, but that mightn't matter when its cold hands grip you and pull you to its sullen stream. Your pleas shall surely fall on deaf ears. Why not make good use of your time before you depart this world? Show love to all who deserve it. Help all, big or small. Wear a smiling face and your caring ways. It shall bring you goodness someday. Dream big and start small. Live up to your potential. Leave a landmark behind, so when you're gone, the world shall remember you. Beloved, death is inevitable.
Thank you, Doug. And
bravo, Elizabeth.
Yeah, Elizabeth's an amazing writer.
I think so.
She's got that natural ability. So, all right. Next up, we are going to Elizabeth, and you can read dogs.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dog. I really appreciate you reading my poem. It sounded so beautiful. Well, I'll be reading Mr. Dog's poem titled Wedge Issue. But before I start, I'd like to say thank you to everyone here who have purchased my book, who have ordered a copy. It means a lot to me. I appreciate your support. Okay, so back to the poem. It's titled Wedge Issue. Tilt a well map who bends over the back entrance of a 4-to-1 duplex in the wedge. The neighborhood is blessed with an old trees to old houses ratio wider than 3-to-1. The back entry is surrounded by blinded and curtained windows that effuse the sense of abandonment, as does the moldy door. A tree of life shakes violently at the notion that no matter how humble, this hovel makes the perfect shelter for a proud boy's enemy. #1. A rusted Ford Econoline, not parked by Neil Young, is no getaway car, but might add a bedroom to this joint, but not in Rochester winter. Why do undulating green maple leaves matter? Because safe heavens are becoming scarce, especially if Hispanic or black. Dark clouds and dark clouds add humidity, not rain. Today, concealed weapons are elsewhere. Single shot suicide deaths win the derby this year, 118 to 67. Concealed entrance waits. I hope I read that well.
Elizabeth, that was wonderful. Thank you very much. We are going to go on to Mushimi. It is your turn to please read, and
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, ma'am, since it's my first time, so I haven't paired up with anyone. If I'm getting the opportunity for the next time, I'll surely read out someone. Before that, I'm going to Jill, ma'am. Ma'am, please accept my heartfelt condolence for your father. So I couldn't write down over here, so please accept it. Thank you, ma'am. I'm reading my last composition, Ramage. Beyond the bridge of light, near the abode of the saints, in a very disturbed slot of time, I look for heaven. When the lap-dub stops, no distance remains in between the hearts. Beyond the visual purple, I look for a start. When all the words stop, the world walks on its knees. All the poems are meaningless. I look for a breeze. However, when it rains, pearl drop scares me when I have the blue. To fulfill my elusive love, I look for you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That was
Thank
beautiful indeed, and thank you for joining us too today. Thank you very much. Next, we have up Gita. If you would please unmute yourself. I think you did an exchange.
Yeah, thank you so much again, Annette. I'm going to recite one of a beautiful composition of Dennis. Um, I always appreciate Dennis. Your compositions are so motivating, so beautiful, thoughtful compositions. And I got a privilege to choose one of your composition, and that I chose. The title is I'm a Canvas. I'm a canvas, a cloth of pure white. I paint with my colors. I paint with my colors, some dark and some light. At times I use red when I am anxious or mad. Other times it's been blue, whom I am feeling when I am feeling so sad. My strokes are my life, and each tell my story in a canvas of colors, a blend in full glory. I am what I paint, you see what you get. With each color I use from colorful palette. It could be brown, a black, or a green, but my portrait reveals all the colors of me. I'm a canvas, once of pure white, now filled with colors from the strokes of my life. So beautiful composition, Dennis. Thank you so much for allowing me to recite your composition.
Thank you, Gita. That was beautiful. And congratulations, Dennis. That was lovely. Next up, we have Gul. Go ahead and unmute yourself, sir. Thank you.
Thanks once again. You gave me that opportunity. This time I want to read from my book. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible. We can hear you.
My utopia
Yes,
was broken. My utopia was broken. Last night when I was slumbering on my tattered couch. Last night when I was slumbering on my tattered couch, I dreamt about a dreamland that's no man's approach. I saw a place sweeter than paradise. I saw a place sweeter than paradise where everything looked unbelievable and it was a big surprise. Where man helped man without impure motives and selfish gain. Where man helped man without impure motives and selfish gain. Where there were no flatterers, it was a brother's domain. Where greed, lust, and gluttony. Where greed, lust, and gluttony were the words unknown. Where love, sympathy, and respect were practiced and shown. We are young both to elders and they did obey. We are young both to elders and they did obey. Where elders knew mercy and never pray. Where justice prevailed and rulers were humankinds. Where justice prevailed and rulers were humankinds. Where leaders led seas, not herds of blinds. Let me repeat this line. Where justice prevailed and rulers were humankinds. Where justice prevailed and rulers were humankinds. Where leaders led seas, not herds of blinds. Where love was dripping from every foliage of green tree. Where love was dripping from every foliage of green tree. Where all were foresighted and no one was sheen free. Where wealth was the truth and so nobody lied. Where wealth was the truth and so nobody lied, where smiles and laughter were freely supplied. Being so happy, I felt jocund. Being so happy, I felt jocund, I danced and finally awakened. Being so happy, I felt jocund, I danced and finally awakened. I was shocked and shattered, was weeping as my utopia was broken. That's all.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing. That was beautiful, sir. All right. Next up, we have Jill. If you want to unmute yourself, please.
First of all, thank you to everyone who put in the chat their condolences. That means a great deal. Thank you. Also, Etka, my goodness, I've never heard anyone recite that particular poem other than me when I was reading it to refine it. And it felt completely different. And you did an incredible job. Thank you so much. I'm truly humbled. This poem is written by my dearest sister friend, Etka, newly joined us in America. It is called It's You. I'm sorry, it's from the book, her ebook called It's You. The poem title, Life in Every Moment. Anything bad is for something good. Don't think what shouldn't or what should. Live life in every moment. Enjoy to the fullest. Nothing is permanent. If dark clouds are around and you find yourself emotionally bound, Just free your thoughts. Speak up. Open up the knots. You will find a ray of positivity, clear solutions with thoughts filled with purity. Every moment becomes a memory. It's up to you. Make it dull or a glory. Each passing time is precious. Utilize it, but don't rush. Just feel love in every day before it's late and slips away. Anything bad is for something good. Don't think what shouldn't or what should. Live life in every moment. Enjoy to the fullest. Nothing is permanent. Such sage wisdom. Thank you. It's an honor to recite this. Thank you, dearest Edgar.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you. It was beautiful. Beautiful poem and recitation. Next up, we're going to go to Dennis, please. If you would unmute yourself, sir, and do your recitation.
Okay, so I have had the privilege and honor to be able to recite a poem from Miss Gita. She's a wonderful poetess. I enjoy reading her poems all the time. And this poem is called Once I Thought of Falling in Love. And I hope I can do it justice. Our styles are a little different, so it's just kind of, I've looked it over and I'm like, but it's a beautiful poem. So here we go. Once I thought, how about if at all, in love I fall? Asked to all, everyone said no, not at all. Rivers said, don't think of that fall. Sea and the ocean, how I lost my name. And existence even, that's the consequence. I lost my flow. I lost the glow. And in ease, I lost my giggle even in the roaring of the sea. Rain said, do you know how eagerly I fell? From where I fell, I never ever weigh between heaven and hell. Out of love only, I fell spontaneously. And what happened? After falling, I lost my rain's existence. Earth absorbed me in such a way till my disappearance. Sunflower said, look at me. I fell for sun. I felt to him only I belong. Everywhere he goes. With my whole heart, I changed my turn because I was so concerned. I loved till I'm alive. But have you ever seen the sun doing that for me? It comes and goes as per his whim. It has his bigger world to illuminate, not only me. I was an illusion every day, only he comes for me. How pathetic. I'm just as insignificant for him. Earth said, about love, never think even. I sent my wet emotions as clouds, but never the sky felt as much as I, and never bent down. My emotions only bounced back profound. As rain, hope you heard my sobbing sound. Finally, I checked with wonderful creatures called humans. What's your say about love, my dear friends? Everyone said, never fall for that trend. That's unnecessarily a terrible pain. So finally, I had to restrain and never dared again. It's a beautiful, beautiful poem, Miss Gita. I enjoy reading that.
It was lovely. Thank you so much. You did a great job and beautiful, writing, Gita. Beautiful, beautiful. Next, we have Vaishali. Do you want to please unmute yourself, dear, and share your last poem with us, that would be wonderful.
Yes, thank you so much. I'll be sharing my third poem for today. The name of the poem is She. Gazing in the mirror, wondered she, is this just a body or soulful me? Her reflection laughed slyly, taking her by surprise. What makes you ponder? It asked with prying eyes. Her eyebrows crinkled, and she half smiled. My color, looks, size, and waist girth, often the appearance of me decides my worth. The filters, the disguise, the edited lives, it's all such a pain. I am more than my body and my looks, which I have proven time and again. The reflection smiled as it said, I hear you, dear. And yes, it's not the beauty, but the mind and courage that counts. Gazing in the mirror, pondered she, if only things became that easy. Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you for
Uh,
sharing that with us.
yes, thank you so much. Hopefully, everyone liked it. Thank you. It was a great opportunity sharing my poems today, and I really enjoyed this session.
Thank you. And
Over
we're
you. Yes.
happy to have you, and thank you for gracing us with your wonderful poetry. So next up we have dear Edka. If you would like to please unmute yourself, dear.
Thank you once again, Annette.
Thank you.
Next poem which I am going to read is related to a poem which was narrated by dear Vaishali. Uh, it was related to rational and irrationality. So
Mhm.
the title of my poem is Prejudice. Uh, Prejudice traps you in, oh, that is, whether it's not or it is. Yes, you are. No, he isn't. That and this. The reality, the love then you miss is because of prejudice. Why be judgmental? Why be unfair? Why be so quick to come to a conclusion? Why be so rigid? Why be so complex? Why? 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 Often you don't recognize. You believe your opinion, then your eyes. No matter how lovable is someone, how good he tries. You play your own game with the same dice. You don't realize and you become biased. You don't embrace the world and curb yourself to the premise. Come outside, embrace the world, love the true form, be, be compassionate, shed prejudice, live life to the fullest with love and peace. Live life to the fullest with love and peace. Thank you so much, everyone.
That was that was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us. Love that. It has a strong message. And thank you for sharing that with us. So we are going to go to Perwaiz. Perwaiz, go ahead and unmute your mic and you can present your last one of the day.
Thank you, Annette, for giving me chance to read out the poem. And I find myself lucky. This is an honor for me to get an opportunity to recite the poem of my dear friend and honorable poetess of the international fame, no other than but the founder president of Passion Passion of Poetry, Annette Tarpley. And the name and the title of the poem is Dance with Me. Dance with Me. He inspired her. I don't know how far I could, I will justify the poem. It is a very dramatical and romantic poem, but I would try my best to read out it as she used to read out. So he spied her from across the veranda. Beautiful, he whispered under his breath. He spied her from across the veranda. Beautiful, he whispered under his breath. His heart began to race, and he thought, I could love her until my death. I could love her until my death. Slowly, he began to approach her. That magical moonlight, starry night. Within a few feet of her, mesmerized by her blue eyes, lit by lantern lights, their eyes met. Their gaze was intense, the air filled with a rhythmic jazz band, close enough now to smell her sweet floral scent. He slowly extended his hand. His lips curved into a welcoming grin. Hello, lovely. Please dance with me. Hello, lovely. Please dance with me. He held her close, fragrant aroma intoxicating, making him weak in the knees. They danced all night. Time sped past, and they took a stroll on the lush green lawn. Happy they were as they held each other. Happy they were as they held each other, witnessing the ushering of dawn. That was the start of their love affair. Their union was their ultimate destiny. Celebrating each year, he would extend his hand, murmuring, My lovely, dance with me. Thank you. Not the poem is over. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It's truly an honor to hear you read it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So I'm going last, and I am going to read one of his poems. So, and we had the exchange. So it's called The Burning Boat. I had burnt my boat. When I crossed the sea, I was then alone. Only my shadow witnessed it. Now, the stink of burning, only I can smell. The burnt mark is invisible to those who have sparks in their eyes. I am carrying the sea in the burnt boat within me. My boat was burning there on the sands of the seashore. Since then, with every tide, sea attempts to put out the fire and wash off my burnt boat. Even for the high tide, it's not possible to do so. My heart is burning in separation of my beloved. Its pangs are too intense. My blanket cannot properly cover my body. To extinguish the fire, the sea is nothing but my vast body. My toes are touching the seabed. My boat is my heart within. The sun on the sky, smokes, comes out all over my mind. My hair turned into ashes gray, but the heat of my burning heart, it seems my heart can't meet, can't make reunion with my beloved, till the sea of my body gets dried out. Oh, my Lord, how long will I have to wait to show you my burning heart, alas? Very beautiful poem. Thank you for allowing me to read
Wow.
it.
Great
And
recitation. And it
thank
is a great honor for me that you have recited my poem. Thank you so much,
thank you.
Annette.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So thank you to all of you. We have come to the end of our session. I'll be shortly starting session 2, but I really appreciate all of you coming and sharing your beautiful works today. Always a pleasure. And hope you'll come back again when I have another session. So much love to you.
Sure, we will. We will.
Much love to y'all.
Wow, this like
All right.
Love
So
you
love and
all.
blessings.
Thank you, everyone. It's wonderful, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you,
Have a
everyone.
good rest of your day.
Good idea. All
Have a
Have a
Yes,
great
good
day.
day. Thank you for
Good day.
inviting.
hope you enjoy this.
Thank you,
Good day.
everybody.
Thank you, Annette. Thank you so much. Good day,
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you.
Bye, Annette.
Ma'am,
Bye-bye.
I'm
thank you all.
making the comments
Gita,
there.
thank you,
Yes,
Bogdana.
thank you. The
Bye,
comments in my
everyone.
group.
Thank you so much.
Ji, ji,
Bye.
Bogdana.
Thank you so
Perwaiz,
much.
thank you.
Bye, all. Bye.
Ekta,
Thank
Sumi,
you.
Sumi.
Bye.